Um, let's get to Liberty quickly. We all know a year ago probably we didn't know as much about Liberty, obviously, as we know now. Um, Unbelievable statistics from a year ago, right? The quarterback threw for 415 yards. The wide receiver, number 11, had 245 yards receiving. They had 42 points at halftime. We come roaring back in the second half, right? Get it down to a one-score thing. We've got them 3rd and 6. We get the ball back. We're going to score. Truthfully, they complete it to number 11. They put the game away. They are a very skilled football team. They have made years ago a very strong commitment to football. And you see them reaping the rewards of that. So we all know a lot about Liberty now, right? It's kind of New Mexico's nemesis. New Mexico State beat them last year at home, lost to them away. I think New Mexico State again plays them twice this year. We're familiar now. It's a big challenge. The quarterback is big time. He can sling it. And number 11 is big time, and they've also surrounded them with some other skill guys. Obviously, storyline of the game, Joe Daly spent, I believe, 6 years there, he told me, or maybe 7 years. Joe had been the offensive coordinator at Liberty. I remember the first time, I've told this story a lot, in the summer a year ago, knowing Liberty was on our schedule, we do our summer film study. The first tape I watched was Liberty playing Baylor in Waco from the previous season, the 2017 season. I put that tape on, that quarterback, that wide receiver, and that scheme jumped out at me then. And it's still the same guys. And it's one of the reasons we hired Joe Daly here at New Mexico, because how clean the way they operated on offense. So it's a big challenge. A couple injury notes. Aaron Blackwell will have surgery tomorrow, ACL. Elijah Lilly will have surgery. I want to double check this. I think Aaron has surgery Thursday. Elijah Lilly will have surgery tomorrow on a labrum that's been, it's unfortunate. He had the other labrum a year ago, kind of a high school injury that he couldn't shake. Now he comes back this year in fall camp and he injures the other labrum. The good news is that gives him another year. So rather than just keep fighting it, we're going to get the labrum done. It's unfortunate that Saturday, I asked him, what does Tavaka have against you? Because Tavaka missed him a couple times out here against New Mexico State, or he would have ended it with a bang. But I think that's about it. Injury-wise, we're actually healthier now than we were going into New Mexico State. We came out of the New Mexico State game really, really in good shape as far as injuries. So
Elijah, you gonna just get a medical red shirt or something?
Yeah, and you have the thing now all over the country, right? The 4 games.
Right.
So he only played in 3 games. So even if it's not medical, he gets this year back.
And how are you doing as you come back?
Health-wise?
Yes.
I'm doing pretty good. It's amazing what having 55 and them have 52 does, right? If they'd had 55 and we'd have had 52, I might be limping around a little bit more. But no, I'm good, and you guys, I was around a lot last week. So now it's back full speed. Thank you, though.
Was there a certain day you knew that you were going to be cleared for this week?
Yeah, I knew last week. There was, and the doctors all thought that the test would be positive just based on all things, but there was a test that you had to wait basically 2.5 weeks to take the kind of all-inclusive test. So late last week, I knew that from a health standpoint, I was good to go. Like I said, I almost went from that Sheraton to the stadium, but I actually called Joanne and talked about it and talked to Clay, but I said, I'm just going to stay the course because I've said that I'm going to wait. And I waited and, watched the game, so I'm good.
Overall, do you feel like a new man, a different man?
No. Truthfully, I don't feel much different. I've always been pretty appreciative. Maybe maybe just a tad bit more appreciative. So, probably feel like a few more people like me than I thought. Maybe that's what happens when you have a health thing. Maybe people just say they appreciate you and like you and glad you're back, but kind of self-esteem, and I felt like, hey, yeah, actually some people like me. So even if it wasn't true, man, I appreciate all that positive coach, get back to work, man, we miss you kind of stuff. Anything about the game, guys?
Well, just, Coach, do you change anything up in the way you approach this week as far as, like your coaches coach a little bit more, or?
No, Lee, I mean, that's why I didn't jump back there over the last 2 weeks. I mean, I don't think you can really change who you are. Whatever that gene is where that adrenaline starts going, it's going to start going. I don't think you can control what you are and how you do things. And if you have to do it, maybe you shouldn't be doing it, quite honestly. So, no, I'm back, 100% and, anxious to get going. So it's full speed ahead.
Coach, can you talk about how your offensive line is playing? Because I think you guys are the only school that doesn't have to give it up a sack. Isn't that right?
That's right, yes, we're the only school that has
Really?
a lot of sack. Yes.
Nice, good. I saw the improvement in the Notre Dame game. Coming out of Sam Houston, I was a little concerned. We were a little bit inconsistent, and I saw the improvement through the Notre Dame game. And it definitely continued through the New Mexico State game. I thought it was very clean, physical. We ran the ball. We continue to run the ball better. And I see improvement there. We have good depth now. We've got a couple young players, 2 freshmen really, Cade Briggs and Justice Spates, that are really talented young guys that have had some playing time. We've bolstered that up. That's been an area of concern, as you guys know. That's becoming quickly a strength of our team. I'm pretty comfortable saying that.
Coach.
Coach, go ahead,
Oh.
Fred.
Was it?
Fred's back, by the
Okay.
way.
Okay. Thanks,
Fred,
guys.
good to see you back, man.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
You had talked about wait till after the state game and probably making some changes and have a better idea. Offensively, the running backs now, you
Yeah.
use Davis, Carroll, Vigilant, they showed a lot.
Yeah.
Are you now feeling a little more comfortable and now you can say who you're going to play?
I'm
for?
anxious to watch it continue. I think, again, and really, Fred, at all skill positions. I said last week that I do feel a hungriness. And use the word more violence at the skill positions. I see that taking shape. Amari is Amari. He has his style. Bryson Carroll is a hungry little guy that has some juice. You saw Day Vigilant come in. I mean, he cherished those couple carries he had. It's starting to become something that you're anxious to watch, not holding your breath a little bit saying, man, we've always had these running backs, now we don't. You're starting to feel that coming. And I think the same thing's true at receiver. I mean, you see kind of how we've transitioned from a triple option based personnel, all of it, to a more skill guy oriented kind of offense. It's kind of exciting. I don't take anything for granted. Everything's about the quarterback. A lot of it's about the quarterback. I just really hope and stress if we can continue to improve at all those positions on offense. I kind of rambled around there, but it's exciting to see some of that weapons that we have. And now we're far enough along in this scheme that I think they can hopefully take the next step from a confidence and just skill set.
Coach, how will they play? You showed off a lot of stuff down there on Saturday. Explosive, creative football. How will Liberty defend you?
Liberty's a lot like New Mexico State schematically. We had some success against them last year, particularly in the second half. Some of that was we were down so much at halftime. Some of it was they got fatigued out here in the altitude. They have a new defensive coordinator. They have a new staff. With Hugh Freeze coming. Schematically, they're a lot like a lot of people. They do have a lot of players back on defense. They're going to play us about like we play them, and it's going to be what college football is now. I mean, you see these skill guys and what a handful it is to cover people and to tackle people in space. So they're going to defend us about like we try to defend them.
Go Steve and then end it.
Bob, I was hoping you could talk about Tabaka a bit. Did you feel any took the struggle for the starting job?
Yeah, and not to be unexpected, I mean, that's the first throw to Marcus Williams, when he's rolling to his left. I mean, he throws the ball on the run as good as maybe anybody I've been around. The thing with Tabaka is the consistency, and quite honestly, staying healthy. When he's right, he's really right, and he's good. There have been some peaks and valleys. And that's why the message this week is offensively, this isn't the first time we've moved the ball. You look at last year against Incarnate Word in the first game, we were up and down the field. I think we had 600 and some yards offense. We went up and down the field against UNLV last year. We did in the second half against Liberty. Can we become a consistent offensive team? And to do that, we have to improve. So don't start thinking, okay, Saturday it's going to be this. We have to do it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday now. We have to improve. And I think that's really true with Tabaka, right? He's totally capable. But I've seen Tabaka go up and down the field before. But I haven't seen him do it back to back to back to back to back to back like the great ones do. So that is the message now. That is the message, okay? Last Saturday will do nothing for us next Saturday unless we continue to improve.
Coach, we saw just in practice, you guys working on the deep ball a lot. We've seen it in the game so far. Is that something that you're trying to implement more, and how much is Tabaka going to be a part of that going forward?
Yeah, it's college football. I mean, college football, right? The RPO, we're going to throw it when they commit one more guy to the run. Post-snap, college football used to be pre-snap. Quarterback looked at that picture and checked, okay, and you could disguise and you could drop down and change the defense. Now, everything is after the ball is snapped. What do they do? So there's no more disguise. After the ball snapped, that run supports that run support. And it's a one-on-one game. It is a one-on-one game, unless you're just going to keep everybody back and play the pass. So college football is deep ball. Catching deep balls, defending deep balls, all of it, So you've seen us. I mean, we ran the course of the triple, right? We could keep the ball away from them. We could run the ball, but we got to where we couldn't score enough points. You have to score points. And that's what this game is now. The game is more of a one-on-one out there on that perimeter. And if they give you one-on-one, it's coming. Whether it's first down or third down, it doesn't matter. First and 10, there's as much opportunity to launch that ball down the field as there is on 3rd and 10. There is no, this is a pass down, this is a run down. And if you get in that numerical setup, it's coming every single down.
Is he the starter going forward, or are you still
Tabaka?
thinking week?
No, he's the starter.
Coach, on quarterback and receiver, you said I was next, Frank, right?
It's okay.
But their quarterback and their receiver, how do you slow those guys as far as their receiver being like the most receiving yards and stuff like that? And then,
Yeah,
with that said, winning on the road, the challenge with that too.
both of it. You just said it. That is a really good atmosphere there. 6 o'clock night game at home. It will be an impressive, hostile kind of atmosphere. He is a big-time player, number 11 now. He is an NFL wide receiver. Really reminds me of Terrell Owens. He just does. He's that long. He's got long arms, goes up, has the swagger, has the confidence. He's an exciting player, and I can tell just watching them enough. He's kind of the slam dunk guy, right? I mean, that crowd turns into a basketball kind of thing when he ignites the crowd. Now, he goes up and makes those catches and makes those plays, and that place is on you. It's a handful. It's a challenge. Everybody's had a challenge with him. You know, the last 2 weeks, he's been on fire against Buffalo and Hampton. It's a handful. And as quick as the quarterback gets the ball out, he's kind of a unique guy when you watch his delivery and stuff. I mean, he is a gunslinger now. A tall guy, but I mean, he gets it out quickly and sidearm at times. It's a challenge. But there's no surprises. We know what's coming. We know what's waiting for us. There's nobody going in there, well, we didn't really. No, we know what it is now. We know what it is. It's can we get better this week?
End up with Mark.
Hey, Mark.
On defense, have you seen a progress with these JCs and new guys coming in each week? You see the trend we're going to get a lot tougher, maybe more 3 and outs?
I hope. You know, if you noticed, Latavian Beaton started at free safety. Jarek Reed started at what we call the star position. We've transitioned, you know, kind of, I've told you, those guys that haven't been here very long that are talented. Okay, we started that transition now. You know, that's what that was. There's still some growing pains. But I will give New Mexico State credit. Schematically, they went from a 5-man protection to a 6- and 7-man protection. If that quarterback gets time, he's a handful in Las Cruces. They also used the quarterback as a runner in our game, which they hadn't done. It slowed us down. But truthfully, it wasn't good enough on defense, as you know. That's the obvious. But we have transitioned to those guys on the field. You know, without Aaron Blackwell out there, and you look around on that field, that's why we went back and re-educated our team on Sunday to who Liberty is. Because we don't have many guys on our defense that knows who Liberty is. Now, the guys from last year, but there's not many guys from last year out there. So we just got to stay positive, keep building, keep working, and practice our butt off because we have to get better. We have to get better. You can't win 55-52, right? We have to get better.
I was gonna say, you gotta give credit, we never talked much about it, kicking game.
Oh,
Both those guys did unbelievable.
you know, you think again, and I encourage you, you know, I did the TV show yesterday, Andrew Shelley. We did a piece on him, the New Mexico man. He was the New Mexico man against New Mexico State. Get that piece and watch him talk about the New Mexico man and bringing the flag out as the New Mexico man and the passion in his voice about that. And then 48 and 49-yard field goal, right? 48 and 49-yard field goal. And then Devin Sanders blocks that field goal. When it's 41-38, the kid, number one, just had the 71-yard kick return. We go 3 and out right there and block the field goal at 41-38. Kickoff return, punt return still isn't where we want it to be. They hurt us on a kickoff return. But the kickers, the punter, Tyson Dyer, the kicker, the freshman walk-on snapper, Aiden, there's some good things there. But there were some bad things too.
Coach, just accurate. What do you think of Washington State, UCLA?
Watched just about every down.
Took a while.
Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. I mean, all the games. I watched Colorado State right down to the end. They have over 600 yards offense against Toledo. They end up with the ball on the 1-yard line as the game ends. Toledo has over 400 yards rushing. I mean, it's crazy. It is turning into a video game now. It is turning into a video. Unless you're in the SEC and you got those kind of guys that can just go out there and you cover him, you cover him, you cover him, you cover him, and you're gifted. You know, if anywhere else, that ball is going to go up and down that field now, just because of numbers and matchups. So it's, yeah, I watched that one right down to the end now. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach.